All right, Coach, turn our attention. Last regular season game at Toscano coming up this Friday. Just want to get your thoughts heading into the weekend series versus Northeastern after the BU game last night and just the four grad students that will be recognizing Friday.
Yeah, well, first, I thought last night's game was a fantastic college hockey game. I think anybody who had a chance to watch it, it was pretty fast paced. There was some high end plays and just overall a really great college hockey game. Now we have to shift gears and go to Northeastern, who played BU last week and split with BU. Their Whitehead's is a really good goaltender. I think they're playing pretty well right now. I watched their game Saturday night at Northeastern, and I thought it was a really good game. Certainly very dangerous. That top line of Rascovian and Lund and Williams is as good as anybody in the league. So it's going to be, I would imagine, another hard fought Hockey East battle this weekend with Northeastern.
Awesome, awesome. Joe, you want to start us off?
Sure. Morning, Cav. How you doing?
Great, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
It seemed like last night in the last few games that the defense has really stepped up as far to try to get pucks to the net. Carabin and Viking, and obviously you've had that from Kai and Trey, but it seems like Spetsy was even more active offensively last night. He's got that heavy shot. Is that something you want to see him continue to do? I mean, try to get pucks on the net for rebounds and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's something we work on all the time. Our defensemen, if you can get it on net, great. If you can't, shoot for a stick. But I think it's really important for our defensemen to be able to get it past that first wave uh, and down towards the net. When your D are getting their shots blocked, it's really demoralizing for your forwards as well because you work hard to get it and you kick it out, and if it gets blocked by that first layer, now you're back checking. So, but when it gets down to the net, at least you have a chance then to retrieve it if it doesn't go in. So that is something that we work on all the time.
It seems like this is a group that just is buying into every concept, and obviously you've gotten great leadership. We've talked a lot about Huddy and Spets, but what about Nick and Hugh? What the experience that they've brought in their 1 year?
Yeah, Colin alluded to it earlier. Yeah, we have four grad students here Friday night. No true seniors, but four grad students. But they have, Hugh has brought NCAA experience from Western Michigan, so he knows what it's like to play in the national tournament, which none of our kids have, and he's vocalized that in the locker room. So I think that's been great. Nick was a solid player at Princeton for 4 years, and he's really brought a calming presence, I think in our defensive core. So, and he had a relationship a little bit with Spetsy. They both grew up in Jersey, so they knew each other before they got here. So I think that transition for him was pretty seamless.
And again, I think it's seven straight games now. You've gotten a power play goal, and you talked about it last night, and you said that the two units kind of bring a different mindset, a different skill set to your power play.
Well, a little bit. It's the same structure pretty much,
Right.
but they. I said they both are contributing. It's not like we're just relying on one power play to score goals. I think both
Right.
units have chipped in on that case. So it's nice to know that if Shandor's line's out there for 30 seconds and they draw the penalty, that we can start the power play with Whitcomb's group and we don't really skip a beat.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dan, we'll jump over to you.
Just on the topic of the power play, Whitcomb's unit is four freshmen and Spets. So both ends of the spectrum in terms of guys out there. Just why are you comfortable having that many young guys on a power play unit, and how much does John being there help that?
Well, just because they're good, they've earned it. I really don't look at what year you are when it comes to the power play. It's like, who are our best guys and who fits this role the best on the power play. And then that unit just so happens to have four freshmen and Johnny. And Johnny certainly, they can get a little rambunctious at times, and Johnny can bring a calming presence for sure to that group.
I feel like we've talked a lot about Hudson this season, given the points record and all that. But John is also the
Yeah.
defensive point leader for you guys. What's made him so good in that area throughout his career? Because it was pretty much day one he stepped in and was producing, if I remember right. Right?
Who, Hudson or John?
John.
Yeah, he's well, he played a lot of junior hockey. He came here pretty seasoned, and he's a hockey nerd. He really is. Like, he'll go home and watch practice every single day. If I'll ask him about a play in practice, and he'll say, "Yeah, I watched that last night." The key, he really is. And when he's done playing someday, I bet my mortgage that he's going to get into coaching, because he is like having an extra coach on the ice.
When you were recruiting him, were there any interesting stories or circumstances when you were trying to get him here?
I'm trying to think. Not really. It was pretty straightforward. I think he was originally committed to Merrimack, and they might have had a coaching change at the time when he committed. I can't remember the whole gist of it. It was a long time ago, Dan. He's a fifth year. So, but I know Joe Pereira had a relationship with the Spets family, and that was kind of the initial introduction to him. Like, Joe knew their family pretty well, and that was our connection. And when we went out and watched him play, he was a great player for Chicago in the USHL.
Is he from a hockey family?
His brother plays. It's a bit. He's got five or six. There's five or six kids. I don't know how many siblings he has, but yeah, he's got a few.
And then Hugh, you kind of mentioned that he's talked about being in the tournament in the locker room, but just how does that tournament experience really manifest and help you guys as you're getting there? Because that's as much of a challenge as once you're there.
I think it's more just him saying, "I've been to the tournament. This team's as good as the teams that I've played on that can get to the tournament." Giving the kids the confidence that, like, we're good enough to get there. So I don't care that we've never got there. That's meaningless. I'm telling you right now that this team's good enough to get there. So I think when someone who's been there says that, it carries a lot of weight.
Is he pretty much what you expected to get when you landed him out of the portal?
Yeah, I think he's a big, heavy power forward that brings a lot of energy to our games, and he's a physical presence. It's again, we played four lines pretty consistently last night. I can't really. There's not a lot of difference. Obviously, Hudson's line's doing a lot of scoring for us, but I feel very comfortable, regardless of who's on the ice, with any of those lines out there.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Cav. Cole Hudson's goal was number one on ESPN's top 10 this morning. And I was just curious, did that remind you of a player or a play that you've seen, either someone you've coached or coached against, that play that he made last night?
The only person I could see making that play that I coached against is probably Cale Makar, or his brother, Lane.
Yeah.
But it was a fabulous one-on-one, high-end play. And my hat's off to him. He's a great player. And, not only that, but the finish was to go far side off the post and in. That was a good finish as well.
And is there something that you would have liked to have seen your defense do, or is that just a great player making a great play on that play?
There were some plays before that I thought we could have ended the play before it got to that. But,
Gotcha.
That one play, I mean, it's just, he, like I said, you tip your hat to him. It was a heck of a play. I mean, really, really high-end play.
And then with the Northeastern series coming up, is there any concern with, the short turnaround, and having two more games this weekend after last night's game?
No, I don't think so. These kids are, they want to play hockey this time of year. And, I'm more concerned, Andrew, when we have a 2 week layoff. Like, I was more concerned about the main game not playing for 9 days than I would be in this scenario, because I feel like you can get into a groove, and it's happened. The national tournament way back, it used to be 12 teams, and
Yep.
there would be 6 teams that went to a site. So you would, and I was involved with this a couple times. We played on a Friday night and then had to play Saturday against the number 1 seed, and we won both times by winning on Friday night, and then we knocked off the team that wasn't playing. So
Right.
sometimes when you're playing, you get into a groove and a rhythm, and it's beneficial. So I with these kids, I don't think that's an issue at all.
Thank you.
Joe, go ahead.
Hey, Cav, what makes their top line so good? Williams and Lund and Rakovian.
Well, they complement each other pretty well, and they're all 3 good players. Williams is a great centerman and shoots the puck extremely well. Raskovian is a clever player, and Lund is a game breaker. Like he can go end to end, and he's got a great shot. I mean, he scored a couple high end goals against Igorov last week. I saw, one timers bar down. So they're very, very dangerous when they're on the ice.
And are they a different style? I mean, you've played 2 high energy teams the last 2 games in Maine and BU. Is Jerry's team more of a grinded out type of team?
No, I think that they've always been a pretty high skilled offensive team. So I don't expect Northeastern to be trapping on Friday.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Dan.
So first round bye in Hockey East isn't beneficial. You're going to get in that first round.
Well, I didn't say that, Dan. I would like the first. I mean, but if we have to play in it, we have to play in it. It didn't hurt us last year. We went toe to toe with BC after playing on a Wednesday night. So I'm just saying that it's not. I don't think it's that big of an issue.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving you a hard time. Up to Matthews on Saturday.
You're being a stereotypical reporter right now.
Exactly. I got to pull it out sometimes. Up to Matthews on Saturday. We're on year 3 of not knowing if this is the last year of it, but if it is your last trip there, I know you said you played there in high school, right?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that game and being there?
When I was in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I remember we played Christopher Columbus, and we won the North Sectional. We had lost the year before to them in that game, and then we had beat them there. I remember that. It was great. It's an awesome building to play in. But that was the old Matthews when it was very, very tight. It was before they enlarged it a little bit. That sheet was really, really tight. You beat a guy out of the corner, you got a grade A scoring chance at that old building. But it has so much history. It's kind of sad in a way that it's going to go away because, I mean, the Bruins used to play there. The Beanpot started there. It's got to be one of the oldest buildings in the country, I would think, hockey arenas. So I wish they could refurbish it because it's one of those buildings you don't want to lose. But sounds like they're going to have to knock it down.
Yeah, Celtics and Whalers started there too, I believe.
Yeah.
I lost the second question, so I'm all good.
Okay.
Birthday date for Dan today.
Happy birthday,
for Dan.
You're killing me, Joe. We were so close. Almost got out of here.
I wasn't going to let you go.
Thank you, everyone.
How old are you today? 30?
Thanks. Wow. Just keeps getting better and better. No, 27. I got a few years.
Okay. All right.
I think I got Hugh or Spets or one of your older guys beat by a year. So
yeah. Well, Spetsy's Spetsy will be Jesus. Yeah, you do. Just barely, I think.
Yeah, someone's a 99 and I'm a 98.
I think Spetsy is, yeah. 98. Jesus. We were playing Michigan in the national championship that year.
at the Garden.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
I would say it
Yeah.
was a great year all around, but that probably
Yeah.
wasn't a great year for you guys.
No, not
Even
98.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for jumping on. Coach, good luck this weekend.
All right. Great seeing you guys.